So Abby has been doing this since December, though. She got to jump on this even before January.
Yeah, not to brag, but I'm doing really good at this dry January thing. Maybe it is because I'm white. I guess it's just easier to be sober when you have blonde hair and blue eyes. But I had to stop drinking alcohol 2 weeks before my nose surgery. So I had to take that really, really seriously, which I think has given me an advantage because I just have not thought about alcohol since December, really. And something that came up over the break really reminded me that, this is a crazy thought, but you don't always need alcohol to have fun. So
let's pause that for 1 second. Let's walk that one back. What did you just say?
You don't always need alcohol to have fun.
But sometimes you need it to tolerate other people.
Bingo. Nailed it.
Which brings me to my point.
I read it. I was watching a TikTok this weekend that said, to the response to that is, you also don't need shoes to run, but it sure helps.
Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I love a good time that features some good tequila, some good white wine, some good red wine. Like, I am not knocking the alcohol. But over the break, I got dinner with a friend that I had not seen in a hot second. This is somebody I consider to be a very, very close friend. And the one caveat with her is it's just very hard to get her in person. You can get her over text, you can get her over FaceTime, but getting her to sit down with you for about 2 hours is a challenge. So when I finally got set dinner plans with her, I was so excited because I'm like, I love this girl. Haven't seen her since like 2021, I think. So we finally make dinner plans and we go to this restaurant in this really fun part of town in my hometown. And we sit down and we're gabbing. And she's like, your nose looks great. I'm like, I know. And I'm like, what's going on with you? Tell me about the guys that you're dating. And the next thing I know, I look up. We had been at the restaurant for 5 hours.
5 hours?
5 hours. We got there at 5. They asked us to leave. They're like, girls, it's 10 p.m. Like, this is Jacksonville, Florida. We were supposed to close down an hour ago, so you guys need to leave. And neither of us had a single sip of alcohol. She was planning on doing dry January. I am still recovering from my nose job, so I'm still not supposed to drink. And I was just flabbergasted that we were able to pass the time for so long. Not one of us looking at our phones, not one of us thinking, should we get a cocktail? And it reminded me of like when you were a kid and you were just so high on life and just so happy to be around the people in your life that you just didn't need to have alcohol. And so I thought, let me look back on all of the times where I felt like I've needed to have a drink. And it's usually been the times where I'm like, oh, I'm around a lot of drunk people right now, so I need to also take the one-way ticket to drunky lane and grab myself a White Claw at the bar. Whenever I'm at like a dive bar or when I'm at, a really crowded bar and restaurant and everyone else is drinking and I feel like I need to be on the same level. And I thought maybe it's not necessarily the need for alcohol for me to have fun. Maybe I just need to constantly surround myself with people that make me feel like this person.
If I just surrounded myself with just sober friends, it would be me and like one other person.
At least you had somebody with you. I don't think I got one.
In fact, I sent a text out last week to somebody saying, hey, you want to meet tonight? We haven't caught up in a while. I said, I'm not drinking, but we could have an appetizer. And he wrote back to me, can we resume our friendship in February?
Well, what's funny, prior to January, you are one of the people that would have got kicked to the curb.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
So for me, I think when I go out and stuff, I think I really just need to be more conscious about the people that I'm going out with so that I don't fall into like this habit of I need to have 10 tequila shots in order to have a successful Saturday, because I do enjoy drinking. I do think that everything is more fun with a little bit more alcohol, but I think I'd be able to mitigate my drinking more if I'm more aware of the situations that I'm putting myself in.
Oh, for
like,
sure.
maybe don't go to this bar because you only have a good time if someone buys you a cheap Rumplemint shot and you need to be on like another planet to have a good time or to enjoy the music. Be more conscious about the situations that you're actually going to. Do things that are actually fun so you don't feel like you have to have alcohol to make it a more enjoyable experience.
There's a second part of this that fascinates me also. Sitting down and talking straight with somebody for 5 hours. Now, I can do that every morning because I'm getting paid for it. But a one-on-one conversation for 5 straight straight hours.
I think that just goes to show A, how long it had been since we'd seen each other, but B, also just how much I enjoyed this other person's company. And it's just so rare to find those kinds of friendships, and it's so difficult to find those people that when you find them, you're just like holding on to them, which is why I had been spamming her phone. I was like, I'm only in town for 2 weeks, and one of those weeks, I'm going to be looking like a monster from my nose job. So if you don't get to this restaurant on this day, I'm going to be very upset. So I was very happy that we were able to meet up.
I told you guys when I was on vacation, it just happened that I was in the same vacation spot as a former roommate from 30 years ago. 30 years ago, we hadn't really talked to each other in 30 years. And we met up and we were done catching up with each other in our lives in 25 minutes. That's dude talk right there.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that either. It don't matter how long we haven't seen each other. It could be a stranger. We could have never seen each other. I still can't do that.
No, there's sometimes when I book stuff with friends and I'm like, oh, 2 hours is not going to be enough.
Really?
Oh yeah, because there's a lot to catch up on, and you don't just talk about what happened. You talk about like how you felt about how it what happened, like because we like talk about feelings and emotions and stuff.
I mean, I think the last time you and I went out and watched a boxing match, we were probably with each other for 4 hours, and maybe in that 4 hours, we spent 6 minutes talking.
I think that's about right.
And it was a great night.
It was a great night.
I felt much closer to you after that.
We bonded. We bonded. 6 minute bond.
Yes.
In 10 words.
That's it. That's all you need.
That's all you need.
The Bert Show.